Hi guys, this is John with CRMD, and today we are going to be covering record types in Salesforce. So we're going to be looking at, in particular, why somebody would want to create two or even multiple record types. And the reason for this is if somebody or a salesperson or a customer service rep wants to display and collect different types of information for similar records, this helps you create different types of record templates, page layouts to display this information. So you can do this on standard objects, and those might be familiar to you as opportunities, cases, leads, or you can also do it on custom objects, those objects that your company may have created to help meet the needs of your particular organization. So if we look at this next slide, what type of information can be controlled by creating multiple different record types? So the first one is business processes, and these are represented by special picklist fields. So you might know these as, if you're in sales, it would be the sales stages going from prospecting through close won, close lost. So you could have multiple of those. So for example, if you have two different types of leads that you sell to, and one type of lead has a shorter sales process, so maybe they only have 2 or 3 steps, whereas the other type of company that you sell to has maybe 4 or 5 different sales stages. So you would want to have 2 different types for that. And the same goes for if you're in customer service and you have different staging for different types of customer service clients that you work with. Next up, page layouts. You might have different categories, different types of information, different fields that you want to display on some type of lead or opportunity or case, whereas you don't need that information, or you need unique information on a different type of case that you work with. So you can change up the page layouts for the records. And lastly, picklist values. Say you have a picklist field and you do not need to see all of the values for all of the records in your system. Maybe you want to select certain values for some record types and then certain values for other record types. So we'll kind of dive into these further, and I'll go through an example. We are going to be company X, and we're going to sell to cats and dogs. Kind of a little weird, but to wrap your head around it, I really wanted to paint the picture of how different a company's clientele could be. So you can't get much more different than cats versus dogs. So I'm a company, I don't know what I sell to them, but I'm selling something to a cat and I'm selling something to a dog. So I want to create 2 different record types for these animals. So we're going to stick in leads because I'm going to be selling to them, and it's the easiest way to look at it, I find. So different business processes. Let's say that I have 2 or 3 steps to sell to a cat, and my sales process for a dog is much longer. It takes much more time. I have different staging, and say I have 10 to 15 different process stages for that. So I could create 2 different sales staging for that. And next up, different data to display on page layouts. I might have certain fields that are applicable to a cat that would not be applicable to a dog, and vice versa. So I want to lay out my page layouts and leads so that I have certain fields in cats and then certain fields for dogs. And then lastly, different picklist values. And again, we went over this on the previous slide, but kind of putting it into practice here. For this, let's say I'm going to use the field breed. So breed would actually be applicable to both. There's cat breeds and there's dog breeds. But I don't want to see, as a salesperson in leads, I don't want to see, if I'm looking at a cat lead, I don't want to see all of the breeds for dogs in that field. So I can actually set up and customize my system. So if I'm looking at a cat lead record type, I won't have to look at any of the dogs. And vice versa, if I'm on a dog record type, I won't have to look at any of the cat breeds. I can arrange it so that doesn't cross over. So let's take a look at the system, and we'll get underway momentarily.